Welcome to our program On Target. As soon as we start this program, you're free to pick up your telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything, a lot of issues in the world trending today. Russia, Israel, Barbados, Grenada, you name it. And you can introduce your own subject matter. The number to call is 442-0175. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook, 91.5, and we know we are struggling in some areas, but we are doing everything possible to get those frequencies back. In light of that, we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube program and share the information with others, particularly some of the elderly and those who are not technologically savvy. Sometimes they have good phones, but they don't know how to get YouTube. We have to help them. Our country is moving fast to a paperless society, and we are not preparing our people. The consequences could be dire for many of our people. Some people will lose all their money in the bank because scammers going to take advantage on our ignorance. Yesterday we were on the topic of transportation. Transportation has been an issue with us for a long while. And just to bring back some of the pointers or the suggestion we were putting down for discussion, is to have stronger buses association. We have about 1,000 buses in our country. If I swell up the figures too much, you could correct me. But I think we have about 1,000 buses operating in the country. So we're looking for stronger buses association. And based upon the information we have, all the buses associations are very weak. So we're looking for greater strategic and economic collaboration with government. Government has a stake in that. So government must do more to strengthen the buses association. It's a free market. Man buy a bus, you can't tell him when to run it, when not to run it. But it is in the government interest for our people able to move. And the government in the past record, they have much more difficulties in running transport system than the private man. Not in Grenada alone, all over the world. Public bus transport is losing a lot of money. So it is in the government interest to forge a strategic economic collaboration with the Buses Association. And how they do that? One, the Bus Association must establish a secretariat and the government must pay the bill. Simple and straightforward. The government must help the Bus Association to establish a secretariat. And the government must stand the expense in the first 3 to 5 years until that association is built strong enough to be able to maintain itself. So after 3 years, you give them one person to pay. After 4 years, they have to pay another person. And after 5 years, you let it go in their hand. 3 persons could man the secretariat effectively. This is an era of computer. And the people you put there will be knowledgeable in that area. It'd be nice to have one of the ex-trade union leaders, because you want a full-time person in the first instance. And somebody from the Ministry of Finance. And they have a basic assistance secretary. That is important. What is the role of the secretary? secretariat. The secretariat will help to provide information for the different buses association, help to organize meetings and strengthen them. Also help to negotiate other benefits from the public for the bus association. When you have an association, you must benefit from it. Some of these associations are failing because the members do not see any benefit. That secretariat can negotiate with the private sector for better terms and conditions, better deals. For instance, you get percentages off from supermarket, hotel, big businesses. Because you have 1,000 buses outside there plus conductors. So that is a clientele that businessmen would like to have. The secretariat could negotiate medical benefits. The secretariat could negotiate to encourage some medical doctors to operate the office after hours, between 5 and 12 in the night. So busmen could have time to go to doctor. You see, the man itself doesn't go to doctor. Every time you hear a man dead, you say, I just see him pass it dead. The man is sick long. Sometimes they bring their spouse to the doctor and pay the bill, but they ain't going to the doctor for themselves. Sometimes they say just a little gas, they drink rum. Just a little problem, they smoke weed. Man tend not to go to doctor as regular as women. Maybe it's our ego, but so they make us. So the secretariat can negotiate, make it easier. The busman finds it hard to leave his work to go to the doctor. But if he knows he can go to doctor between 5 and 12 in the night for a routine check, then he might be better. The same thing with the dentist and the psychologist. So we suggested these things yesterday. Sometime you might be interested in adding, calling, disputing, or just tell us we're wasting time. But we must address the transport problem in Grenada. We have over 60,000 registered vehicles. So the answer is not more vehicles. We have one of the best network of roads in the region. So the answer is not more road. We have enough road. The quality of the roads are very good. Government need to continue the maintenance work and speed it up. The problem is management. Management of what we have. Another method we suggest that can help solve the dire transport problem that we have. There are a lot of people who have vehicles and they fall in the lower income group. They have vehicles but they're broken. They own vehicles but they're vulnerable. They own vehicles but they're poor. They have vehicles but they're struggling to maintain the vehicle. They see in trouble to buy gas. We want to strongly advise that some of these people turn these so-called luxurious vehicles into an income-generating business. So let me give you some example. You're a public officer. You're a teacher. You work in customs. Somewhere in St. George's, Hoggins or whatever. And you have a car. But you're struggling to maintain the car. So why not run taxi? When you're going down in the morning, change it to a taxi. When you're going down in the morning, you go down with 1 or 2 passengers. And when you're coming up, you come up with 1 or 2 passengers. So at the end of the month, you can bring in a tidy sum that can help to maintain your vehicle. You could pass by the bus stand and see if there are stranded people for Guave, for Victoria, for St. Andrews, for Ticolo. And because we are a small, knitted society, very quick, you will become popular as somebody pulling bull after hours in your community. You may even get hired to go to the hospital. So the vehicle you have, a percentage of the use of that vehicle is income generating. Now you have a car more for show off. You can't maintain a car. Insurance is 3,000-4,000 per annum. Gas is maybe 200 per month. You have to pray with your bunks. You can't maintain the vehicle. But if the vehicle, a percentage of the use of the vehicle is income generating, then that will be better. Who knows? You may have enough money from the vehicle to maintain the vehicle and buy a rum, or buy a sweets, or do you hear? We have to be wiser as a people. Our people are not very business oriented. We want to have a job, but we have to train the next generation to have more than one source of income. And since you want to use your transport to get you from point A to point B in a comfortable position and as quick as possible, then why not also use it as an income generating venture? Later you may have a 5-seater and put taxi on it. And because Grenada is very small, you don't have to go off route. You're working in St. George's every day, but you're living in Victoria. So some of your co-workers may well travel with you. And at the end of the month, you may pick up $200-300 additional dollars for transportation. I met a young man a couple months ago speaking to him. He used to work with a farmer, a vegetable farmer, and he was being paid $60 a day for 4 years. He told me he tired of that. Get a good job in St. George's, in Lansapine. He was being paid $110 a day. I asked him how much money you paying for the bus. Well, he never checked it out, so I helped him check it out. $500 and something a month. So he left a job paying $60 a day, and he had to work 3 to 4 hours for the most. He took a new job, paying $110 a day, and he had to spend $525 on transportation. And he had to work 12 hours for the day. I told him I wish his wife had him. Because all holidays and nights and weekends he working. I said the best thing is for your wife to get a man. You was working $60 a day for 3-4 hours. You did not have to pay transportation. You had enough time to do an additional work and spend time with your home and your children. You could have gone and fish. Now you're working for 12 hours a day for $110. And you have to spend $525 for transportation. And you have to buy food in the night. It's either you're stupid twice or you need an next man in the house. We have to start to face some realities. Education should make us see things better for our development. Nothing is wrong with working in town for 110. But you left a job for 60. There is no promotion in security work. Every movie you see, they shoot the security or they knock him out. So you left your wife and your home with 2 children. All weekend you're gone, all night. And 12 hours you have to work for. So we have to think. And while we're doing that, sometimes you hitchhiking ride. Because after a couple of months, he realized that he have to try to economize transportation. So he begging for a ride to save from that $5.25 a month. And sometimes he reaching to work late and have to be chastised. We must solve problem. We must believe that we have the answers. We must not ignore issues. When you speak about an issue today, people attack you personally rather than examine the issue and see if working together we can address the challenges that faces us. We have been struggling with transport, and government after government perhaps have not addressed the issue. We need stronger bus association so the buses could manage themselves. What we have is a rat race. And they're right. Doggy dog. In short of discipline, you're going to have doggy dog. Some individuals have nice buses. They're popular on the road. They're very aggressive. And they're likely to get the passengers. But in the long run, are we doing better? And it's not about service. And the government can't tell you when to run. This is a free market. Even though the government give the busmen concession, they can't tell them what to do. What we need is stronger buses association. Busmen must want to be in the association because the association provide additional benefits. Benefits of saving money when you purchase. Better access to medical doctors. That is one of the challenges we have in the health system in Grenada. Too much people beating around the bush. And we lambast the hospital and the doctors. We want greater access to medical personnel. So the government must put doctors in St. Patrick's, Guave, 24/7. You must have a medical doctor there. You must have a dentist there, 6 days for the week. You must have a psychologist, 5 or 6 days for the week. You must have special days for children. As soon as you do that, you're going to get better service in Princess Alice Hospital and the General Hospital. Because too much of routine work ends up in the hospital. This is not rocket science. We must have medical doctors in the St. Patrick's medical facilities 24/7. That means you have to operate about 3 doctors there. You must have dentists there. Because oral health is important. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, punch.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes,
I have really a concern, and I don't know if it's a concern or a question. how does a governor general gets appointed or get sworn in? Because my question and concern is how is Tillman Thomas, who was a leader of the opposition and who was a prime minister in the opposite party, gets to be governor general in the absence of the current governor general, and is able to go on platforms and criticize the opposition if the governor general is supposed to be a neutral party? Or can the opposition oppose and put in a claim that he is no longer selected to be governor general?
Well, he is not the governor general, he's acting governor general. Normally,
It's the same thing. The acting governor general has the same power, because the acting, conveniently, when the lady left and go 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago, he sworn in two senators. So whether he's acting or not, the governor general is the governor general at the time. We taught in the same school. If the principal is not there, the acting principal has to pick up the baton. So the acting or assistant is just a convenient name, but he has the power as the governor general in her absence in that case.
if we go back to precedent and history, you had Leo de Gale as the first governor general. He was not known to be actively involved in politics. Then we had Paul Schoon. And Paul Schoon was not known to be actively involved in politics.
Yeah, he was I think the principal of some university in Grenada. Yeah.
Yeah, he was not known to be actively involved, even though he may have his inclination. Then we had I think Mr. Green from Gov. He was not, I don't think he was actively involved in politics. You had Danny Williams. Danny Williams was involved in politics. But when he became when he became governor general, he ceased to take active partisan part.
Right.
So a lot depends on the individual. Laguinard, one of the oldest family in politics in Grenada, but she was not actively involved in politics for a long time. But Tillman Thomas, the ex-leader of the NDC, after he retired from the leadership, he remained very active involved in politics. And that is perhaps now, you remember the NDC seems to be breaking with convention. They have declared restorative justice. They're propagating classism. So they take a whole different approach. So while what he is doing may not be ethical, but it's not illegal. And the NDC does legalize illegality. So we might have to get accustomed with that. You there, caller? Yes. So we might have to get accustomed with that. I think when he started to act as a governor general, he should start to behave like a governor general. He should start to behave like a governor general. But his level of biasness may surpass common reality. And the NDC says that. They don't know explanation for nobody. The Prime Minister is not answering question. He keeps away from the press. And the NDC is flaunting the law with impunity. In some cases, they break the law. And they say, and it's that. Because they see themselves in a different social strata. They're propagating, according to Maurice Bishop, classism. It's very sad and unfortunate. And a lot of people would have never believed it, that 50 years after independence, we have a government propagating classism. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
Yeah, Governor Calais Glynn was involved in active politics.
Calais Glynn, yeah.
Yes, he contested St. John's and lost.
Okay.
And before he became Governor General.
Yes, thank you.
And then you also had Leo de Gill, who was chairman of the Public Service Commission.
Yes, so he was not actively involved in politics per se.
No.
So that break comes from NDC.
Yes, Calais Glynn contested, he lost, then he was made
Minister of Education.
Yeah, and then Governor General.
Yeah. So that break really come with NDC.
Yes.
Moving away from the convention of apparent neutrality.
So let me extend my condolences to Lady Williams and the entire family on the passing of our former Governor General, Sir Daniel Williams. But Mr. Pierre,
yes, ma'am.
Today, right? I want to speak a little bit on the bus insurance, which you articulated yesterday.
Yeah.
I think that is a very excellent move, in that if the association should start an insurance for themselves, then at least they would have at least 1,000 clients to start. And I say this at the background, that once we had an insurance agent who got in problems with the insurance company he was working for. He was prosecuted for the wrongdoings. However, he opened an insurance company for himself. To start off that company, the government of Grenada insured government vehicles with that individual so he could start a local insurance company. The point I'm making here is that we have the expertise, excuse me, and we have people in Grenada who knows how to start up an insurance company. And if the bus association, with that level of clientele, and which would be beneficial to them, I think is something they can look for in going forward, and it's something they can discuss among themselves, discuss with consultants who knows about insurance. But I think that is an excellent idea for the bus association in Grenada, whereby it will be beneficial for them in every way. And so I want to commend you, sir, on making that suggestion to the bus association, and against the background that we have people in Grenada who have started their own insurance company without that level of clientele. So I think it's something that the bus association can pursue. Thank you, sir.
Yes, my friend. You see, we have to believe that we have what it takes to address our problems. One of the biggest yoke we have around our necks is academia. They are not thinkers. They are regurgitators. And the majority of them are agents of the multinational corporation. So they do not seek the interests of the common man. But I encourage the bosses to talk about it. You could go to Clarice Charles, Vira McQueen, Samuel Britton, Alvin St. John, and I'm certain these individuals will gladly help you. I know there is more, but I wouldn't dare call others' name. I'll take a chance and call these people name. They won't do me nothing. Yes, caller, welcome. Yes, caller, punch. Okay, we lost this caller?
No.
Okay, go right ahead.
What about you? What about what you $5 million to enter the arena?
What you do?
You have $1 million to enter the arena?
What you will do?
You have to have about $5 million to enter the arena.
That's small money, man.
But you have to join a company because you don't.
But if you have 1,000 busmen, 1,000 busmen, 5 million is small money?
5 million is small money.
Yes, because you have
backing in case the unexpected.
you have clientele of 1,000 persons.
Plus, once a year you insurance. So if you get 100, you can't get any amount of money you get for 1 year. That's why you have to work with you. You have to pay people to work with you. So you have to have backing. You have to join other companies to maintain this insurance. So in case you run broke, in case the insurance end up in trouble, you have to have backing. You can't just open insurance. So that's impossible. So Pierre.
Hi, brother.
So Pierre.
A lot of caller, hold on a while. Eric Gary say the difficult things we do now, the impossible we do tomorrow. So let's do it tomorrow.
Let me tell you, you get the $9,000 already?
No, I ain't got no money.
They get the money?
No.
And I hear that the money in the bank and kind of thing sent on the post.
Well, I got to go in the bank and see if mine come.
All right, well, when you get yours, you will have to send it.
Yeah, well, once I get you up.
Okay.
All right. Yes. So it is possible, and I'm certain that these individuals are called Clarice Charles, Vira McQueen, Samuel Britton, Alvin St. John, Jeanette Dubois. All these people are wrong. And these people understand. And I'm certain all of them believe that we could make the changes. We could address the challenges in the country. We could solve our problem. These people will understand the ground. They understand the ground. They are not agents of the multinational corporation. Bossmen, if you don't believe, hold discussion with them. We could start the bossmen of about 1,000 clienteles. Plus that yesterday we discussed the issue of greater strategic and economic collaboration with the government. It is in the government's interest for you to have stronger association. It is in the government interest that you provide a better service. And the government would use that as an incentive package to help you to provide a better bus service. Government buying buses is a joke. Some of the companies that are buying transport now to transport the workers would be happy not to have that cost. Bossmen, you are not doing well economically. How do I know that? When you live in a community, you watch the people who have money that go into bus. They don't stay long. And those who don't have money that go in bus, when they retire, they don't have money still. It means that the bus system, the transport system, is not as profitable. But it involves over 12 hours of work every day. And the pressure on you from government and the public is not economically rewarding. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
I want that caller to do a research on the Lincoln Capital Insurance of Grenada see who was the owner of that insurance, how it started, and it was locally owned. To say that the bus association cannot have an insurance, because insurance companies reinsure with Lloyd's or other companies is a matter of establishing, get personnel who knows about the industry, so they could be informed. You see, if everything we say, we can't. So how companies start? How has companies started? For instance, look at the credit unions. The credit unions started up like a small entity in the communities, in Bush Grove, in River Sally, in Hermitage, in Permota. Look at the value of credit unions today. Credit unions today competing with international banks in Grenada, locally owned cooperatives, and therefore we must take initiative and with forward-thinking people. We cannot be so pessimistic. Can't do this, we can't do that, it can't be done. Do the research on the Lincoln Capital Insurance, and you will find out how that company was started by a Grenadian in Grenada, a Grenada insurance company.
Yes, my friend. We may have to take a year or two begging the busmen, but time is on our side. The black man is not known to be good businessmen. And we live in a society where we educate people to look for a job. And our best academic minds are looking for a job. If you have a master's degree and you come back and you can't find a job, they should take the degree from you. Most of our intelligentsia are just agents of multinational corporations. They are not thinkers. And they're very cold. And that is why they support classism. Because they want people to respect them while they are very unproductive. But we have over 1,000 buses in Grenada. And there is so much pressure on the busmen. And the busmen generally are not making money. But I do research for the courage of my conviction. Why do I say that they're not making money? I observed busmen for many decades. They was broken when they go in bus, and when they come out in bus, they're broken. And those who had money and venture in bus, they left as fast as Williamson fire. Because they claim bus not making money. That's why we have the aggressive culture in bus. What it results in? People having 50 and 60 charges from the police a day because they're breaking the rule. Some busmen told me, you must get charged from the police. They say, how you going to make $1? You tend to have aggressive culture from these men for survival. A lot of people say they're greedy, but it's not greed. They have to pay the bank. They don't even take good care of themselves. They don't pay insurance, national insurance. They don't have no pension plan. When they retire from government, from driving bus, they have occupational hazards and they're on the breadline. And it is in the government's interest again to provide them with a little panquai so they don't starve. So a smart, wise government now would ensure that you strengthen the association by starting up with the secretariat. Use good people in the secretariat. And you could go to retired trade unionists because most of them understand what it takes and they were involved and they have knowledge how insurance work, and some of them started up insurance companies. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre, wonderful topic. I just had to notice that normally I used to be around the bus stand. Notice you have the busmen every day have a susu of $100 a day. I noticed he had 30 busmen involved in that. Every day, some received $3,000. If you multiply that by 6, that's $18,000 a week. And you multiply that $18,000 by 4, that's almost $72,000 a month going on just 30 busmen alone in one organization. You have over 1,000 and something buses. And you multiply by 70 something, $72,000 by 12, that's almost $1 million, close to $1 million a year, circulating with 30 busmen alone in the bus terminal. So imagine that you have everybody involved and putting some money towards it. They could have their own credit union, their own gas station, their own tire shop, their own insurance, everything. Just an observation. Thank you, sir.
Yes, scholar, we have to have this discussion. Black people afraid business. We from one generation make it. The next one may mimic them. And when we come back in poverty. From rags to riches to rags. We don't have a culture. We don't have a culture of generational wealth. When you have a business, all your friends vex with you. The people who are successful in the community, we say they're dealing, they're wicked, they're mean, they don't help you nobody. Nobody likes the businessman. When the school have, mothers have, they have a day when they call Carry Day. They don't invite the local businessman to come in it. And make sure they never invite Kenny Lalson to go in a career day in St. Patrick's or St. Andrews. They go say he wicked, he mean, he don't help nobody. So we have to change that attitude. We have to control our own destiny. Not the Chinese. The Chinese come here for 1,000 years. You ever hear a Chinese dead? From the time China invaded. You ever hear a Chinese have a funeral? You ever hear a Chinese dead? The Chinese don't involve in your business, your politics, your culture. They come here for 1,000 years. We have been just tearing down one another and running down one another. When we don't do it for political purpose, we pray on the success stories in our village. We don't go and ask, why are you succeeding and I am not succeeding? As soon as you partner have a bar, you want to bust him. We could change that. This is a mentality. We have over 1,000 buses. As soon as the insurance company realize that you want to start your own insurance, they drop in the premium. I don't know how much you pay. You must pay $3,000 for insurance on the average. Let's say $2,000. Multiply 2,000 by 1,000 and multiply it by 2 years. See how much million that is. And if you could lobby the government to pay your secretariat and insure their vehicle with you, then in a little or no time, you have a successful insurance company. And the insurance company could make rules. If you out of order, they raise your premium. The insurance company could encourage you to recognize that you don't need to drive reckless because you're losing money. 1,000 clienteles is a powerful force. Then you would stop saying your partner greedy. It's not greed. It's a culture of hustling because you have to pay the bank. You may be better, you might be more stress-free. The secretariat could negotiate for you better medical opportunities. Get a doctor to operate. Rent an apartment for a doctor. Say, we rent this apartment for you. The bus association rent this apartment. You don't have to pay for rent. But you have to operate between 5 and 12 in the night to give busmen an opportunity to go and do the medical, check the medical self, routine medical. You are forced to work with. You could demand that government bring medical doctors in St. Patrick's. St. Patrick should have 3 medical doctors operating 24/7 or 24/6. One dentist every day so that you will go and check your teeth. When you watch young men, the teeth look as a volcano erupt. Teeth do good. Your teeth in your life is to last you all your life. But you must know that since you are 5 years. If you learn that old like me, half of your life gone. 3/4 of your life gone before you know your teeth in your life is to last you all your life. We can't just talk the talk. We have to walk the talk. Now is a good time to start. Because we have a bad government. So opportunities must come from bad situation. That is the worst government we have since 1967. So we must take opportunities from that. A government that advocating classism. Government are good. But we can't let all fall down. So that is a good opportunity for the bossmen to discuss it in the rum shop. Discuss it on the bus stand. If you want somebody to come and talk to you, I'll give you some names of some people. Clarice Charles, Vera McQueen, Samuel Britton, Alvin St. John, Gina Dubois. All these people, I believe, have walked the straight and narrow in this country. And most of them don't fear nobody. They will speak to you frank and fair. And I doubt they're going to charge you for that. They just chat with you. They make glad to see the bossman have their own buses insurance. Their own insurance company. You could lobby the GCNA. You could lobby the farmers. Offer them special deals to join your association. You could lobby the beef farmers and the shrimp farmers. Not shrimp. The other associations in the country to join your association. In 5-10 years, you could have the biggest insurance company in Grenada branching off in different areas. You are a powerful force. Even though you're in the departure lounge, think about the next generation. Because the mango you suck when you was 5 years old, you never planted. The car you drive in when you was 5 years old was not your own. So you have to prepare the pitch for the future. You can't follow these African leaders and everything. If they get a chance, they're selling us in slavery again. The change must make from us. We could do better. Why we don't do better? Our academia has let us down. Our best brain in the country is caught. They're behaving as if they are commission agents for the multinational corporation. And they're propagating classism. So we have to do better. A bus insurance, you have 1,000 clients. You could lobby the government for strategic and economic collaboration. Is in the government interest and will cost the government cheaper because pressure is on the government now to address the transport issue. Some smart man go on and buy bus. They get a contract, and the government like contract, you know. They get a contract to bring in bus. But the answer is not that. The answer is developing your people to rise to the occasion and accept the challenges. And we have resource personnel. Don't look to England and America and Russia and Canada for advice. Go to Clarice Charles, Vira McQueen, Samuel Britton, Alvin St. John, Gina Dubois. There are a lot of others. There's a lot of others. But these names come to my mouth readily. They live among you in the community. They're quiet as lamb. Because everybody cussing old people now. So they ain't saying nothing. But go and ask them. And when you're done, when you finish, ask them, tell on target it don't make no sense. We must do research. We must believe in ourselves. We must encourage the next generation to do better than us. And we must never say we're too old to do. Because the mango you sucked when you was young, you did not plant the tree. Somebody else planted the tree. The nutmeg you pick up, you did not plant the tree. The car that brought you to school or the bus that brought you to school did not belong to you. Somebody else owned it. So we must be prepared to fix the pitch for the next set of batsmen. That is important in our country. You can't let your country go down the abyss. In this time is the best time for our thinkers to think. Every time there is disaster, people sit down and think how we could change it. We have a disaster government. They do good. They're propagating classism. They're hostile to people in the lower income group. They're very insensitive to the elderly, the physically challenged, and disadvantaged children. They're lying without compunction. They front the law with impunity. So now is the best time for the bossmen in our country to strengthen the association. You don't have to go far. Go to these people. Ask them. Ask them if they think that idea could work. Ask them for advice. You have a whole heap of resource personnel. Maybe almost 200 years of experience. You have among the few of them. And they will tell you much more people in your own community that could help you. And are certain to start with, you don't have to pay them. Free advice they will give you. And if they believe on target don't making sense, they're bold enough to tell you that too. But we have to change in this country. We have to develop our country. The country belongs to us. We have a lot of good going for us. We have the best network of roads in the Caribbean. And the quality of the roads are relatively good. We don't need more road. We need to maintain the road that we have. We don't need more vehicles. We have over 60,000 registered vehicles, 100,000 people. We have the most landowners in the region. Electricity, telephone, water, and internet have 90% reach. Well, the problem in Carriacou is temporary. So we are second to none, comparable with the best. So what is the problem? Our teacher to children ratio is better than most developing countries. And the government spends about 10 or 11% of the GDP on education. And we have more discretionary income in our country now today more than any other time before. And our teachers are better educated, better equipped than any other time. There is absolutely no reason why we are not doing better. I think we have to start to believe that we can solve the problems we have. We could discuss, come up with suggestions, and address the challenge that affect you. No one have the answer. When you are challenged, you must find justification and rationales and reasons for what you do. You don't know it all. You're not no big Doberman dog. You're an ordinary pothole like me. All of us in Grenada. All of us are descendants from the slave ship. If Africa is the cradle of civilization, some people advocate that. Every time you speak, they tell you Africa is the cradle of civilization. Then all of us have a right to be in Grenada. It doesn't matter who comes first or who comes second. All of us have a right to be here. We are all descendants from the cradle of civilization. We must address our challenges, solve the problems, and prepare this country. Make the country better for those who come after. The number to call is 4420175. You still have an opportunity to call. This topic transcends political parties, but the government of the day has an important part to play. And it is in the government's interest to fast track, facilitate the process. It might take a whole year to sell the idea to the bossman. Let's sell it. Let's sell it. The government must be a strategic economic partner. The government must be prepared to pay for the secretariat in the interim between 3 to 5 years to give that association a good start. We must get good people who knows what it's all about. And I believe anyone that spends some time, that have experience in the trade union, and anyone from finance that make the sense. You want a senior officer from Ministry of Finance. And in a quick space of time, I believe they could move mountains. They could help strengthen the association. The association could grow to respect the secretariat. Because the secretariat don't have no interest in leading association. Their interest is not that. You know, we have to do better. We have to believe we could do better. We have to brainstorm. And that is why I have so much difficulties understanding the government. Because when the government is challenged, they attack you personally. When people challenge the government, particularly on policies, the government should glad to get the opportunity to defend that policy by providing justification, reasons, and advancing logic. You can't take the position and is that. Because if you take the position as is that, we're going to continue to knock on the door and ask you 1,000 questions more. We want to thank you for participating with us today on this topic. Our basic objective is to provoke discussion. And this is the end of the program On Target for the week. Tomorrow we have the extension, and I'll join with Master Carl on the extension. Thank you very much.